I wouldn't be surprised if she goes from 10 to 1.
Oh, are we predicting?
I personally feel like the girlies were kind of just like, okay, the boys are fighting. I wanna have fun. Like, pack it up. Like, please, where's Lotto? Where's Glow? Where let's go on tour. Let's wear our cheetah print. So
I do think that Jay-Z might have known that this was coming, and that's why the response was so quick. I do believe it might have been prepared already.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to a fresh episode of Billboard Unfiltered number 25.
Let's go.
What it do? It may look a little different because we fired some cats. But we
They'll be
got
back next week.
some fresh superstars. Brother Kyle's still in the building.
I tried to stay
You kept
around.
your job.
His job is still here. But no, we have two amazing superstars representing Vibe magazine to my left. Miss Amber Corinne, new staff writer, beast all across. Make sure y'all see her interview with the Rhythm and Flow cast.
Hey.
Go watch that.
Miss Lotto, Luda, DJ Khaled. And we have, can I say an award-winning podcast? Can I do that?
Oh my goodness, I was not prepared for this.
An award-winning podcaster. She's also the associate news editor for Vibe magazine, Miss Regina Cho.
Hello, Carl. Look at us potting together.
Look at us
Look at
potting
us potting.
together. This is a
would've
happy
thought?
family.
No,
I love
because
that.
Carl and I go way back. He met me as a baby Billboard intern, and look at us
A
now.
baby Billboard
I followed
intern.
him to
Wow, I
BMC.
love that.
So.
We got superstars all across the board here. I'm just happy to be in y'all company and greatness. And I think we're going to have fun today because we caused a little tizzy.
When don't we?
Yeah, we caused a little tizzy online last week when we unleashed our final iteration of the hottest female rappers of 2024. In case you guys missed it, in June 2024, we unleashed our first version of the list. Top three, it was, I want to say, Megan Thee Stallion was 3, Sexy Red 2, Nicki Minaj 1.
Yeah.
And then we came back with the final ranking where we fucked things up a little bit.
Shuffled it around a
Yeah,
little bit.
we shook it up a little bit. We're gonna give the top 10 so you guys can get the full picture. Number 10, Cardi B. Number 9, Rhapsody. Number 8, JT. Number 7, Doja. Number 6, Doechii. Number 5, Lotto. 4, Sexy Red. 3, Nicki Minaj. 2, Megan Thee Stallion. 1, Miss Glorilla. Shout out to Glow. She was originally number 6 in the June 2024 ranking. Shot from 6 to 1. If you are looking for the omissions from the original list, no Flo Milli, and no Ice Spice.
Ooh.
Yeah. The new entries include Rhapsody at number 9.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rap and Doechii at number 6.
Yes, sir.
So I think it's only right, Brother Kyle, we start with the ladies first to get their thoughts on the list. What did y'all think? Did we do this right? Anything that was glaring?
I will say that Glorilla at number 1, any list that does not include Glorilla at number 1, I feel like causes an uproar because it is undeniable the year that she has had. So you guys definitely got that right. Thank you. And you did highlight this, but I came in here ready to highlight this. It is so remarkable how June, Doechii was not on the list, and now she's at number 6. The ascension that she has had in the past few months is just so amazing to see, and I feel very vindicated as an early Doechii stan.
Hey.
Like, you guys did great in this list, and I'm not just saying that because I'm biased because I'm sitting right next to you guys, but it's very, very, very accurate, and I'll shout out my MVPs before Amber goes. My year was defined in Lotto, Glorilla, obviously, and Megan Thee Stallion.
That's a great three.
That's good.
That's a great three.
I have to back everything she's saying. Like, you guys got it right with Glow. Like, she should definitely be number 1. It was the year of Glow. Everybody knows that. I have to say, though, I am an official Barb, so
We got a Barb in the
I'm very
house.
happy to see Nicki Minaj in the top 5. I would, maybe make her number 2, but I'm very happy to see her, in the top 5. It's amazing to see Doechii on there. She's had an amazing year. I would like to see Tiara Whack too. That's my girl. But I can't disagree with what you guys did. Good job.
Okay. I love that, brother Kyle.
I have my qualms with the first iteration of the list, and I'm happy with this version of it. I'm happy to see my girl JT moving up a spot.
Shout out to JT,
I'm
man.
incredibly proud of the year that she's had. So to see her make her strides as a soloist outside of City Girls and really establish herself in that way has been really, really awesome to see. I definitely agree that Lotto was another defining artist, I think, across the board, regardless of genre or gender for me this year. I feel like every time I was outside, I heard a Lotto song or something from that album. So those two, happy to see. If I had to champion one person who didn't make the list, It would probably be Little Sims. I love Drop 7 this year.
Great
Fever
album.
is one of my favorite songs. She seems to be one of the few rappers who can actually do the Brazilian funk thing well and make it actually work. I think she's just an incredible talent. So I would put my money behind her. Yeah.
Shout out to Sim. She's been doing it for a minute. I think the one person I want to highlight, this may surprise. Actually, no, I don't think it's going to surprise y'all. And it's more so because of how she responded to her ranking. I want to give a shout out to Cardi.
Okay.
You know, because somebody of that magnitude, she's considered in the heralded big three, whether it's her, Meg, or Nicki. She was number 10.
Yeah.
And to be quite frank, there were discussions about her being off the list
They were.
altogether. I mean, she did put out Like What, Enough. She had some dope features, one with Rob 49. But this is not, like, we're used to seeing Cardi in superstar form, and she has not been that this year. You know, a fan tried to clap at her and just say, ma'am, like, you're number 10. So I think you need to get back in the studio. And she took it with grace. She was just like, yo, listen, like, the other shout out to the other women, they've been putting in the work. I have not put out an album in 8 years. It's coming in 2025. She could have just said, fuck all y'all. Why am I this low? But she took it with grace, and I think Cardi is going to put herself in a position to have an explosive 2025. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes from 10 to 1
Oh, are we predicting?
next year.
I feel like that her reaction doesn't surprise me because she always struck me as a real ass bitch. Like she really is self-aware, and she's like, I didn't even put out the album that I promised this year. I had a lot of personal struggles. Like that's where my focus was. So I really didn't picture her being up in arms about being named number 10. Like she really knows, like, okay, this is the year that I've had. I get it, guys. I take your criticisms and just watch me in 2025.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where she's at.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we all just want to see Cardi drop. Like, you know, she's been teasing us for so long. I just want to hear what she has, you know, in 2025.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think the one person, too, I was a little annoyed. Shout out to my sister, Rhapsody, because I feel like bar-wise, she's probably the best one on this list.
Absolutely.
Let's keep it 1,000.
Absolutely.
I was just a little surprised by some of the fan reactions because I've found myself over the weekend watching reaction videos on YouTube.
Oh.
There were a couple.
this?
Yeah, there were a couple.
Yeah,
Oh
what were
my
some
God,
that
I gotta
stood
tap
out?
in. Wait.
Some of the guys, they were coming at Rhapsody and just like, yo, no, he, like, who is Rhapsody? What is Rhapsody? I thought that was a music app.
What?
Knowing that she's been doing this for like over 10 years. She's been nominated multiple times over for a Grammy. And I just feel like the lack of respect that she gets on her name, especially with her being a high caliber MC, it's nuts. Like she's been featured on a record with Kendrick Lamar. She obviously has the Hove stamp. Like she is really a true MC when it comes down to it. And I just wish more people were able to at least respect it. Sure, she might not make the music that you appreciate, the dance music, but shorty could bar up. She could bar up. So I hope for her. I know she was super excited to be on the list. I'm curious to see what she's able to do going forward. Obviously, she dropped the album this year, whether it's features, freestyle. She did a dope TV off freestyle.
That was so hard.
And
That
she was coming off the top, too, at a certain point.
That was crazy.
So I want to commend her for that. I want to also shout out Nicki Minaj, man. I think with Nicki, it's incredible to see her being number 1 on the initial list without dropping an album. Yeah, Pink Friday 2 came out the tail end of last year. But this year, she hasn't put out an album. And for her to go from 1 to 3, cats were like, yo, what's going on here? She didn't really put out music, but she had a record-breaking tour.
Yeah, that's what it is right there, the tour.
Like, that's what cats
The tour.
forgot why she's really that high. That tour is the highest selling tour for a female rapper ever. And I think she's, what, top 5 or top 3 now? I think
top
it's Travis.
4 maybe?
Top 4,
all
yeah. I
time?
think it's Travis, Drake, Kendrick, or 50. Don't quote me. But she's in the top 5. And that says a lot. I just think overall what we've been seeing from female rappers in general. Gentlemen, we got to get our shit together. Because the ladies are running the table and they're fucking annihilating us every step of the way. I'm curious, who do you guys want to see potentially next year?
What do you mean by see? Like just
In
on the
terms of whether
takeover?
it's like climbing up or just whoever didn't make it on the list.
I think I was very satisfied, as I said. I feel like the girls that you guys included are getting their flowers through this. And I think we already alluded to my answer. It's Cardi. I'm ready for the Cardi takeover. I believe that I know why she's taking so long for the sophomore album because of the crippling expectations. But I do think it's going to live up to the hype. She makes amazing music. She knows how to make hits. She knows how to collaborate with all the hot artists. I think she's gonna deliver. But I just wanted to shout out, like, I want to touch on something you said about the girls running laps around the guys. I have like I don't want to call it like a theory or just something I just wanted to talk to you guys about.
Okay.
I feel like the reason why this is the year of, like, when we think of rap, we think of the girlies. In the middle of the year was the rap beef, the infamous marquee rap beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And although I don't want to minimize the effects that it had, like, I'm not saying that it wasn't important, but after the dust kind of settled, I feel like people kind of looked at it like, this just made the air so negative and crazy and dark. The sexual assault allegations, the heinous claims being thrown around. I personally feel like the girlies were kind of just like, okay, the boys are fighting. I wanna have fun. Like, pack it up. Like, please, where's Lotto? Where's Glow? Let's go on tour. Let's wear our cheetah print. So I feel like that's why the mood was very like, let's focus on the girls and have fun. Like, they're rapping about fun shit. So I feel like that's why the shift was so female focused. Does that make sense? Like,
I can see
we're
that.
kind of
I
sick
can
of
see
like
that.
the negativity, or
Let's move
am
away
I
from the
kind of just
violence.
like
Nah, let's move away
in
from
my
the
bubble?
violence.
Yeah.
Let's party a
But
little
the girls
bit.
were fighting too.
The girls were fighting.
Wait, who
Wait.
was fighting again?
Top of the year.
There we
Bigfoot,
go.
Hiss.
Who was it? Wasn't
But it was Nicki and Megan.
Nicki and
It was
Megan,
Nicki and
right?
Megan.
Exactly. So they were fighting.
They
too,
were the ones who
you know?
kickstarted the whole competitive
Yeah.
rap feud.
They was.
Shout out to, both women, Megan Thee Stallion, according to the masses, pulled out the W.
Well, yes.
You know? Some people like Bigfoot. Some people like it. You know what I'm saying?
And they can like it.
Yeah,
They can like it.
Comment.
But it did go number one. So shout out to Meg. That was her first solo
Yeah.
number one.
Big shout out to me.
But I'm super glad with how this list turned out. So
Yeah.
I want y'all to stay tuned because this is going to be an annual thing. The next update is going to be June 2025. Oh my gosh.
Which I'm so interested because I
Yeah.
wonder how many of these ladies drop again next year because so many of them dropped this year. I wonder what it looks like next year. Do we get them all coming back again? Is it quieter on the female side next year? Like, we get some mixtape instead of full albums? Like, what does that look like? That could be really cool to see.
I will say one confirmation we do have. Well, if she keeps the promise, Doechii did say her debut album is definitely dropping next year, so that'll be very exciting. So I hope that really happens.
It's interesting you said that too because DJ Head
Yeah.
came out and tweeted like, "Yo, wait till y'all hear this new Doechii music. She's gonna ruffle and shake up the list." So I'm curious to see.
She gets that one song, that one Doechii song that really breaks her. Like, she had What It Is, but I feel like that wasn't really representative of like who Doechii is as an artist, especially in this current state. If she can get that one song next year, I feel like number one is definitely hers.
I agree.
I do have a question for you Billboard guys. Is there anyone that you're surprised that didn't make it to this? Is like maybe like Ice Spice, are you surprised that she didn't, come through like we thought she would, or how they hyped her up to?
Yeah, I would say that I was surprised that her year turned out the way that it did. I'm not surprised that she didn't make the list by the end of the year. We start off the year, Super Bowl commercials. She's in the box with T Swift and Fart is top 40. That's her highest speaking solo song on the chart. Like, stuff is looking up for her. And then it just does not stay up for the rest of the year. The follow-up singles don't really make any noise. The album is 2 packs of ass. I'm sorry. So love you, Ice. You really ruled the year for me with Barbie and Munch and the Like. But that album, I know you can come harder than that because you have come harder than that on the Like EP. So get back in the booth, make something harder, make something better. You can definitely come back on the list next year for sure. Like, the potential's there. We know you can make hits and stuff, but this year just really wasn't her year. But to shout out to her, though, that tour, she did do that overseas and in the States, sold those dates out, packed out those venues. So shout out to her doing that by herself and headlining that tour. But other than that, it was a rough year for my New York sister over there.
2 packs of ass.
I was just about to
creative, very creative.
I will say for Sister Isis, I mean, her going back and forth with Lotto, we was talking about competitive rap. Lotto kind of sauteed her.
Oh, yeah.
And
and kind of came out on top. Like, she showed how, mentioning the EP, like how that was so well received by Ice Spice's fans, and then this debut album was not well received. I think Lotto kind of put the proof in the pudding, where her 777 era was great, but then this Sugar Honey Iced Tea era, her fans loved it. So she kind of put out a masterclass of like, this is how you drop a project and create like a whole moment around it. And feel like Ice Spice didn't do that at all.
Yeah.
And would y'all agree that Sugar Honey Iced Tea, you know, as an acronym, it's shit.
Yeah.
And remember, you know, the whole Ice Spice thing. I'm like, that's such a perfect way to just get back at somebody and be like,
conspiracy
oh, okay.
theory.
I asked her about this
Right.
when I interviewed her in June, and she was like, there's no connection. I came up with the title before this all happened.
I do not believe that.
I don't know if I believe it all the way.
Yeah.
That is what Miss Lotto told me. But, you know, I'm really still in awe at what she was able to do with Sugar Honey Iced Tea, especially considering the fact that she didn't have a big energy off this album.
Right.
Yeah. She didn't even really have like a wheelie off this album. But this still feels like it resonated so much more with the culture as a complete body of work. And I feel like that's really very impressive for her.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
With the final iteration of the list, we had some jumps. Doechii not making the list initially, going to 6, and then Glow initially being 6, going to 1. Who do you guys foresee having those kind of leaps in 2025?
For me, I'm going to say Tiara Weck. I feel like she's so talented. She's so creative. I feel like she comes from the school of like Missy Elliott. If she just gets that right single, the right people behind her, I can definitely see her entering this list next year. She just has to have the right song, you know, but she's so talented.
I agree.
I would say Anicia. I feel like she's made some really great strides this year. Back Outside was obviously a really big hit. Yeah. Opened up for Kehlani on tour. Doing festivals across the country this year. I think if she can continue that kind of momentum, she can definitely debut in like the 5 to 10 range next year. I would love to see her get up there. I love her style. I like how she kind of merges Detroit with Atlanta. So I think it'd be really cool to see her over there.
Back Outside was a banger.
I would say maybe if I really went through my arsenal of people who I've been championing for a long time, I would come up with a better answer, because I literally feel like I'm forgetting the one person I would say, but the person that comes to mind right now is Flo Milli. I always loved her. She makes such fun music for the girlies. And she does have hits, but she doesn't have that one that took her to the moon, so she could definitely still hit that.
Yeah, Flo was initially on the list. She was 10 or 9.
10. I was fighting for her to stay on there.
Yeah.
This thing was big, bro.
I thought
that was a
had
massive hit.
She had a good run, especially, you know, on the feature side, you know, with Megan, with Gambino. I'm probably going to go with Samara Sin. I love, like, her come up. I mean, a lot of people have been kind of giving her the Doechii comparison because, like, tonality in the voice. But I think, she can fucking flow. Yeah. She can fucking rap. I think that's somebody we got to keep our eyes on who can maybe crack the top 10.
Opening for Smino next year, too.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's a good fit.
Yeah.
That's going to be real good. That's going to be real good. So definitely looking forward to that. Before we wrap this, your favorite moment from a female rapper this year? Freestyle.
Even though it happened in January, I'm going to have to say Hiss. I feel like it really set the tone for the year in hip-hop. You know, people talking their shit on a record, people just rapping on a record. It's no hook on that. It's just her spitting her bars on there. And, you know, got her first solo #1 single on the Hot 100. Like, that was a really major moment, and I think a really important moment for Megan to solidify like where she was and who she was at the top of the year. And then we saw the year that came after that. So I would have to say yes.
Yeah, I definitely want to give Megan her flowers really, really quick because there was a point we were going back and forth between Megan and Glow because what Meg has done this year, I thought Megan easily her best album to date, her doing the arena tour, the documentary, like she has just been fucking busy. So big shout out to Megan Thee Stallion for what she's been able to do, getting her 5th top 10 on the 200. Like she's been unstoppable. Ladies?
My favorite moment is at the VMAs this year, Glorilla's performance, because like I was there and covering it and just feeling she just felt so comfortable, like I'm here, like, and I know I have a hit, I'm performing my multiple hits for you guys, and she had the choreo, she had the wardrobe, she had the dancers, like I'm just like, yes, artist development works. You're really killing it. And just to highlight, not that I want to highlight this, but her wardrobe malfunction, and she handled that like a pro. Like I was just so proud of her. And then just that era, I feel like she's #1 on the list, but we like barely talked about her, but I know you guys talked about her in a previous episode and covered that. Also around her rollout era, like her viral interview with Speedy, like I just feel like she's here. She just feels so great about her career. I'm really rooting for you, Glow. Congratulations on an amazing year.
Yeah,
love
Glow.
that. I don't know if this counts, but one of my favorite rap moments for the girlie, she's not really a rapper, but Beyonce rapping on Sweet Honey Bucket on Cowboy Carter. That was one of my favorite moments. But besides that, I feel like it was also the year of Lotto as well. I just love how she dropped Sugar Honey Iced Tea. You know, I've been watching her since the rap game, and I always felt like she's a spitter, like she can rap, but she hasn't had a chance to really showcase that talent. So I feel like on this album, she's really showing who she is, and I just love the rollout for it. Everything she does is big, you know, coming out as Big Mama. I just love this moment for her, so I'm gonna give it to Lotto.
I like that. I think for me, I'm probably gonna say when it was Cardi, Megan, and Glow, all three of them at the Garden, standing united. This is when Megan and Glow were on tour. Cardi came out. They did WAP, and then I think they did the remix for Wannabe, which was fucking fire. But to see all three of them at the pinnacle, at the top of their game together, that was a powerful moment. And it kind of lets you know, like, the tide is definitely changing directions. So again, shout out to the women for what they've been able to do this year. Incredible.
Oh, shout out Jen Carter. We don't really talk about her a lot when it comes to like female rappers, but like 41 is so dope, and she's been putting out some of my favorite verses this year. So shout out Jen Carter.
Shout out Jen Carter. Spotify and Apple released their wrap up. So we gotta ask everyone here, who is the top artist on y'all wrap up list?
So I personally don't have Spotify.
Okay.
But I use Apple Music. And my top artist of the year was Chris Brown. His 11:11 album, I loved it. Residuals, Stutter, all the songs on there. He was my top, like, for last year too. So
I love that. Shout out to Breezy. I think he had easily the best concert of the year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In a year where a lot of people went on tour.
A lot of people.
And
went
Doja
on
Cat,
tour.
I would say number 2.
Yeah, I like that. And 3 Grammys. Shout out to Chris.
Wait, why don't you go second?
You want me to go?
Let's keep a nice little...
Yeah.
Well, I have Apple and Spotify.
That's crazy. Oh, okay.
In
2024, guys, get Spotify.
And I'm proud to say that my king, Aubrey, was triumphant in both platforms.
You're consistent.
Apple and Spotify. Through it all.
I can respect that consistency.
Yeah. Yo, I love my king, man. You know, so shout out to King Aub.
Was Family Matters your number one song?
You said what?
Was Family Matters your number one song?
Number 3.
Oh, wow.
I won't say 1 and 2. I want to keep my allegiance to the 2. Regina.
So I don't know if it's obvious, but you know, there's a man by the name of Larry June.
Yes.
Hey,
who's at my
you've been posting a lot
Good
of
job,
June
Regina.
episodes.
Good job. I post them like every day. Good job, Larry. Good job, Larry. I just feel like, you know, the hip hop year, I alluded it to before, it was just so negative. Even though it was very entertaining and did a lot, that rap beef fed families. But like at some point, you know, I just wanted some peaceful raps about drinking your Whole Foods smoothies and going for a bike ride, and that's literally all this man raps about. Keeping it player, getting money. That type of stuff resonates with me. He was like number 1 here, and then everybody else was like down. It was a very big margin. So shout out to Larry June. He was my MVP for 2024.
Numbers.
Shout out to Larry.
Numbers.
I'm such a music listening like stats nerd, so I use Last.fm. I use Apple Music, but I don't like Replay because it doesn't like do the entire calendar year, and I want my stats to be correct. But as of right now, Miss Beyonce is my number 1 artist of the year. Cowboy Carter is my number 1 album. But I will say it was funny seeing GNX sneak into my top 10 in like a month's time.
Oh, really?
Stuck into mine too.
It's so good.
Fuck all y'all.
You such a hater.
I've been playing the shit out of it too. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Too good.
You must have listened to it so much.
No, I think like at least 4 full listens a day. Like, I love that shit. It's
What's your
hard.
favorite song off of there?
Dodger Blue.
Man at the Garden.
Oh, okay.
I like that. No, the replay value on that album,
And it's short. It's like 40 minutes. I like that.
45 minutes. Switching over. Mr. Carter. Mr. Sean Carter. So, over the weekend, got some news. So Jay-Z was accused in a civil lawsuit of raping a 13-year-old girl with Sean Diddy Combs. The superstar rapper strongly denied the allegations, calling them a blackmail attempt filed by a fraud lawyer. That lawyer is Tony Busby, who filed the allegations. He's a Texas attorney who has filed a slew of lawsuits against Combs in recent months and has warned that he reps dozens more alleged victims. Hove put out the statement with rapid fire quickness. And he pretty much, I'll read like some excerpts. he was saying, these allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint. So for you guys who may be unaware, the Jane Doe has filed a civil suit. So Hov was saying these allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? As these alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. We have seen the last year or so what has been going on with Puff, who is obviously in jail at the moment. Now we are seeing Jay-Z being accused of these allegations. What were y'all instant reactions to the news when the statement came out?
I remember when this news dropped. I believe it was on Sunday night, and so I remember obviously being shocked by seeing the article pop up at trending. But the moment that I remember more is, I'm reading the NBC article, but the statement was tweeted out minutes after that. I remember seeing that and be like, oh my gosh, like to the person I was like, oh my gosh, he dropped a statement already, and it was via Roc Nation's Twitter, and I was just more so confused by like the sequence of events, like how quickly it was out, and we're all journalists here, and I was just kind of like, was this like proofread? Because there was a typo in there. He said, I'm a young man from who made it out the project of Brooklyn. I was like, did someone read this over? So that was my initial gut reaction. But I do think it accomplished, in my opinion, if his mission was to make people believe that he himself, Jay-Z, wrote this statement, I believe he wrote this statement.
1000%.
Like, it really sounds like he went on his phone and wrote it, or a computer or whatever, and tweeted it out himself. So if that was his mission, I believe he wrote it. It wasn't like some PR statement.
I agree.
I wasn't shocked, and it's not behind the allegations. I wasn't shocked because I felt like they were coming for Jay-Z next. I do think that Jay-Z might have known that this was coming, and that's why the response was so quick. I do believe it might have been prepared already, It was definitely shocking, but not shocking to the fact of it's Jay-Z that they're coming after. Brother
Kyle?
I mean, when I saw the news, my stomach just kind of sank. Jay is like not one of, he is my favorite rapper, but he's one of my favorite artists ever, just across genres, really, of all time. I really, really have looked up to him for a long time. I'm a born and raised Brooklyn guy. Like, we got a portrait of him in our public library. Like, he's been a fixture in my life for as long as I can remember being alive. So seeing, his name with those kind of allegations next to them is never going to be a great feeling. So that was pretty heavy to sit with. Obviously, I'm going to just kind of wait to see how this plays out. Like Amber said, I find it kind of difficult to figure out exactly what's going on here between, his response and the refiling of the suit and the way Busby's been going on socials and et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to wait to see where this goes. I think most immediately, my heart broke for Blue, obviously, because she had her feature film debut, red carpet premiere the next day. She obviously is starring in Mufasa alongside her mom, and obviously they were always going to go to the premiere and celebrate that moment, but there's kind of no way to properly celebrate a moment like that hours after that news breaks. So I couldn't imagine having to be a 12-year-old and, walk a red carpet in the midst of all of this. And being that specific 12-year-old and knowing what we have done to her as a culture for her life so far, like, my heart broke for her and continues to break for her. I hope she has got a nice system around her, because it couldn't have been a pretty 48 hours in the Carter household. But this is tough. But like I said, like Amber said, I expected that they would be coming for Jay and other guys in that circle at some point in time. So it really wasn't a surprise. It was more just like,
here we go.
Here it is. Let's just write this out and see what comes out of it.
The hammer has officially came down. I am beyond conflicted because I don't know what to believe. I think Jay made a valid point. Why not file it as a criminal suit?
And I think it was because the statute of limitations might have been expired, so
Right.
they might not be able to file a criminal case. I don't know if that's actually the case, so do not quote me on that. But like you said, like you're are saying, like his statement also really it did convince me. But then again, like it's supposed to. So I'm like now I'm questioning those feelings also.
24 years.
At this point, like with the stories that have come out this year, it was a Wild Wild West back then. So I'm just saying, like, we can't count out any ridiculous story that is being told at this point.
No,
like,
and
honestly.
You're 1,000% right. I think what's so worrisome for me, because I do feel like some of these cases, this is just my belief, are money grabs. And there are real victims out here that have real stories and situations. If for whatever reason this thing or just some of the claims and allegations come out and they were false, this is already sullied and muddied Jay's rep. He's cooked just because of the sheer allegation of it all. Whether it's true or not, I think public perception, he's cooked.
I don't know
Like
if
the
he's
I don't know
damage.
if I think I'll push
I don't know
back
if
on
he's
that
good.
because I
Really?
really did experience a marked difference in the way I saw my circles consume the Diddy news versus this news. I actually haven't even really. I think honestly, because the news cycle was just so packed this past week with the CEO killer and all of this stuff that like this didn't really break through the cycle the way that it might have in another week. But a lot of people, this seems to be like on my Instagram and stuff, are on Jay's side and like not believing it immediately. Whereas with the Diddy stuff, I think because we had tape of like the Cassie assault, we had, we already knew that the feds were after him because they had broken into those mansions and stuff like that. So like people saw all of that stuff and they were like, yeah, we believe this. But with the Jay stuff for now, I'm not seeing as much. And some of that might also be fatigue from like the she knows shit that was happening like 2 months ago where everyone thought they had already solved the case against Jay. And then now that they actually have a legitimate thing against him, it's like, damn, we were kind of too early to celebrate and now it doesn't hit the same.
Right.
But it's a really weird set of circumstances where I feel like the reception has been more muted than I would have anticipated for something of this magnitude for someone of Jay's stature.
Yeah, it's crazy because when I was looking at the comments, man, some of the fans were very much like, and I think they were stripping away their fandom for Jay. And I think to what Amber's saying, it was kind of like, well, this is Jay's turn. I'm not surprised. And it's kind of a thing where it's like, you are the company you keep is what I've been seeing a lot of. So, Cat Williams, man, I don't know what kind of juju you put on 2024.
Close the portal.
Started with Cat.
It started with Cat and that damn Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay.
That's what we really got to blame. Not even Cat, Shannon. That's the
yeah.
real culprit right
Shannon.
there.
Nigga.
He housed
Close
the
it.
bullshit.
Do you guys think Cat Williams can just do, another interview with Club Shay Shay right before New Year's and close the portal?
At this point, yes.
I mean, well,
Because
he
clearly
can
life
talk about
is a
everything
movie.
he was right about. Maybe he can go back and say like, oh, I
And
said
then
this and this
2025 is a peaceful year because so much has happened. We have lived through so many historical events. I'm tired. So he could close it. And then 2025 will be a breeze.
The Cat Williams wrap up.
I'm speaking into existence.
That would be great.
I'm here for that.
Instead of a who's it that does it? Uncle
Murder. I was just Uncle Murder. I was just on the Zoom with Murder. He's working.
We
on
want
the rap,
Cat
by the way. Yeah. He's working on the rap. So be on the lookout for Uncle Murder's rap, and hopefully Cat Williams too. We appreciate y'all being here for episode 25. So thank you guys so much. We got a little bit of goodies to celebrate the milestone.
We got Sierra in the house.
What we got?
Oh, goody.
We got a
No
little
one
bit.
got it.
I
It just
appreciated the
was
joke.
great.
I appreciate it.
It just
We got some
registered.
cupcakes.
Oh, I love celebrating every win. So
Yeah. So thank y'all.
Everyone, little or big.
even though we
Really?
didn't contribute until today,
Listen, hey, this was a milestone episode, so appreciate you guys kicking it. Brother Kyle, as always. The team, as always, for y'all contributions. Trevor and Dame.
oh yes.
MIA. But rest in peace. No, they'll be back. But no, really appreciate you guys for kicking it with us for 25 episodes. It's going to be 25 more.
That's right.
And then another 25.
And then another 20.
You know, we going to keep the party going.
Yes.
But thank you for riding out with
Congrats.
us. Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. So hopefully you guys kick it with us and see us for episode 26, which will be real soon.
Sir.
See ya.